Hey there. Let's say you're given a big data set and you're asked to analyze it. What do? Where do you start? You always start by graphing the data. It's going to reveal all kinds of stuff that simple statistics might miss. The next thing you need to do is calculate some very simple summary statistics. Things like the mean, the median, the mode, variance, standard deviation, the range, chapter 1 kind of stuff. Now, you should never do this with by hand, with pen and paper. You should use software, and in the next minute or so, I'll show you a quick and easy way to calculate these summary statistics using Excel. So, so what you're staring at then is a very simple data set of just 4 observations. Ridiculously simple, but just so that we have something to play along with. Now, there are individual formulas to do each of those things, but it turns out that Excel understands that there's the usual barrage of summary statistics that you might want, and so it automatically generates these things for you, so you don't have to type out a bunch of formulas. Now, to do that, you need to have the analysis Toolpak installed. First things first, then we'll go to your file, options, add-ins, and then you should look for something called the analysis Toolpak, and double click on that and hit OK to install it. And then when you do, you can go to your data tab, and then you'll see that data analysis is really only like a couple mouse clicks away to save you a bunch of typing. So let's click on that. And it lets us do all kinds of really, fancy statistics, from, linear regression to descriptive statistics, which is what we want. So let's click on that. And then it really needs to know, where's my data? Where in this entire spreadsheet? So you could type in, A1 through A4, but really just put your mouse in there and then highlight, and then it automatically fills in the values A1 through A4. I don't have a label as my first cell, like I might say, data or something. There's no label, so I can leave that unchecked. And then it wants to know where should it put its table of summary statistics. It can put it somewhere on the page that you're looking at. It can put it on a new worksheet, like down here, in sheet 2 or something like that, which you can see I've already done. Or it could do it in a completely new workbook. What I would like is just to do it on the same screen that we've got right now. So I'm going to tell it, put it, let's see, let's delete that and say put it right there. And then it fills in the D1 for us. Make sure you've clicked summary statistics. You have to tell it exactly what kind of descriptive statistics you want. It gives you those 4 options. We want summary stats, and we just click OK. And there's an error. Oh, okay, here we go. It changed that. So input range is back there. All right, there we go. So we have a table of summary statistics. The mean is 50, which we can verify by hand, right? So 90 plus 10 is 100, plus another 100. So you got 100 and 100 divided by 4. 200 divided by 4 is 50. The standard error is really kind of like a second order summary stat. It's really the standard deviation of your estimate of the mean. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you're looking at this video, frankly, you don't need to know standard error. The median is the middle value, and so 90 and 10 are on the extremes. The 250 observations are right in the middle. Take the average of those 250s, you get 50. So there's your median. The mode is the most frequently occurring value. 50 occurs twice, so that's our mode. The standard deviation here, the thing to remember is that it's the sample standard deviation, not the population standard deviation. Excel basically understands that if you're crunching numbers, chances are you have a sample that you're dealing with. So it should say sample standard deviation. It does say sample variance, so that's good. Kurtosis is another one of those second level stats things that you probably don't need to know about in an introductory class, but it really just refers to the thickness in the tails. Skewness refers to whether that histogram is kind of tilted in one direction or the other. Now the range is the gap between the largest value and the smallest value. So the largest is 90, the smallest is 10. That gap is 80 units. So that's our range. And then our max and min. So max is the largest, min is the smallest. Sum just tells us, add up these values. Incidentally, when you highlight your data, down here, it gives you quickly the average, the number of observations, the count, which is 4, and then the sum, which is 200. So just adding up those. So really, all of this stuff, it automatically calculates for us anytime you highlight two or more cells. It automatically just gives you those quick summary statistics, because those are the ones that everybody uses all the time. So that's kind of nice. If you wanted to type in all of these formulas, you can, but this is a nice little option to save you from having to type some. So enjoy.